Before I got married, God took me through a journey of healing, a very intense journey of healing. And one of the things that He brought to the forefront of my mind was the fact that I was the common denominator. That in every relationship that I've ever been in, I was there. My exes did not date each other, I dated them. Right? And as simple as that truth is or should have been to me, it hit me like a ton of bricks because it meant that I could no longer assign blame to everybody else and not assign blame to myself. It meant that I could no longer point fingers at everybody else and not point fingers to myself. Right? I was the common denominator. That truth meant that I had to take accountability of my own actions. I had to take accountability of my own character traits, of my own behavioral patterns, of my own, deeds, how I showed up in relationships. I had to sit down with myself and have serious conversations that span throughout months about, Kanyisa, what is it about you that attracts that kind of man? Why, out of all the people you can choose to be with, why is it that specific type? Taking accountability. Kanyisa, is your character, are your behavioral patterns conducive for a healthy relationship? I had to look at myself through the mirror of truth. And that is not always an easy thing to do because the mirror of truth is going to tell you the truth about you. That temper, those insecurities, you need to deal with them. Showing up like this, showing up like that, you need to deal with that. That character that makes you feel that you are unworthy, that sense of unworthiness, you need to deal with that. The mirror of truth. Taking accountability is not always an easy thing to do, but I have found that it is powerful. If you want to change your life, take accountability. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem nice because taking accountability says that, okay, what, am I at fault? But there's so much power in taking accountability because you are essentially saying that the power to change the situation does not lie with anybody else. It's with me. Therefore, I am not at the mercy of anyone else. That with God by my side, this situation can change. That it does not always have to be like this. And that was the journey that I went on. The journey of accepting my faults, the journey of accepting my shortcomings and not accepting them to to keep them, no. Accepting them to change them, accepting them to evolve into the best version of myself. There's power in taking accountability. There's strength in taking accountability. There's growth in taking accountability. Yes, it's nicer to point the fingers, but there's no growth in that. There's no truth in that. There's no elevation in that. All there is cycle. Same man, different name. Same woman, different name. But once you take accountability and you sit yourself down and you ask yourself the hard questions, that is when you'll see your life change. That is when you'll see the situation, your relationship. I'm talking about relationships. That is when you will see change. Because the fault cannot be with everybody else and not be with you when you yourself were there. Can't be. It's a bitter truth. But for the sake of change, for the sake of progression, it is a truth that you ought to embrace. Or it's a truth that I would encourage you to embrace. And go through the journey of healing so that you don't have to be in cycles. The cycle does not have to go into 2024. It doesn't. But whether or not it does, it's up to you. I love y'all.